edutainment, news, alerts. All right, so today I want to talk about NBA refs going back to the early 2000s. All right, so I'm a fan of Underdog NBA. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. All right, but first, what I need you to do on my channel is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop them crowns in the chat because it's your boy J Money and this is Royal Family. We need them crowns. You dig? All right, so Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells, that's the two gentlemen you see. You know, Rasheed Wallace is the one with the blue hat. Bonzi Wells is the one with the white hat. If you don't know these gentlemen, shoot, you don't know the game of basketball. Just saying. Rasheed Wallace, had a bit of beef with the refs, and he's going to be talking about it in this clip. Now, I'm just being real with y'all. I have not seen this clip yet, okay? All right, so we're going to watch it together. We're going to react together. And then I also want to go check out this other video about the NBA referees. You did, because we're going to stay on that today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop them crowns in the chat. Let's get it.
She was always good at he get into it on the court. He can, brush it off his shoulders or whatever. But I remember this one game we was fucking around. It was our man Donahue. Donahue said some shit to Sheed, and she don't went crazy. He going crazy. We hold him out of eye. Boom, get out of here. So usually we go into the locker room when they boom, get out of here. After the game, whatever. She's gonna always be in the jacuzzi or somewhere to stretch in and be like, we gonna come in. Hey, fellas, my fault. He always do that. I'm sorry, man. My bag. You know what I'm saying? We're not tripping. But on this occasion, when Donahue did that to him,
Tim Donahue. If you don't know, quick rundown. If you want to check out the full Netflix series on, not Netflix series, Netflix documentary on it, go check it out. NBA referee. All right, so Tim Donahue, um, he was found guilty of doing betting on NBA games. Pretty much controlling how the outcome would be, whether it was 10 points, 20 points, or, who won or lost, pretty much. Um, it was a structured situation that was not just with him, it was with a few other people. Um, Scott Foster's name being among the people, too, who was never found guilty, by the way. But on that whole track record list, he had called him over 100 times during the time it was sports betting going on, right? So use your mind. Now, understand this too. They were best friends. You know what I'm saying? The wives hung out and stuff like that. When everything happened, meaning the FBI was involved, all that stuff. David Stern, everything, and right before they was about to put a wiretap on Tim to pretty much exploit the whole situation. Um, David Stern and everybody turned their whole back on him, like, nah, forget that. And, labeled him as pretty much a rogue, and all that stuff. So he was found guilty, but he did fight back. And, he did say, how did Scott Foster, how you going to say he didn't know? How did David Stern not know? Pretty much like, we all know. So I would suggest everybody go check out that Netflix because it's pretty good. It did, but let's get back to it. That's who Tim Donahue was.
we come into the locker room and coach used to give a speech. She is standing by his locker, fully dressed. I mean, fully dressed, everything on it, and he just got that look in his. He's bopping. He ain't got no headphones on, but he's doing this. So I look like, oh man, my boy got that look in his eye. So Pip give me that look like, hey, like, hey man, don't take no shower, get dressed right now. What you talking about? He's like, man, go make sure you be with she. So I'm like, all right, I ain't take no shower. I'm taking off my uniform, putting my shit on. As soon as we 1, 2, 3, boom, she gone. I'm like, so I'm trying like, all right, fuck, what is my boy on? So I'm trying to get to my car. So we go out the tunnel. I'm trying to get the car. So the the tunnel is where when you go out
The
to the,
loading
the
dock.
loading docks, you got the bus out there, all our cars and all that shit.
Rasheed was one of them ones not to fuck with. All right, you didn't play with Rasheed at all. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot. And to the rest, he was known to have short temper, but to the players and all that stuff, he was just passionate. He played very hard. He played 110%. He played to win.
So I'm trying to get out there and run out there. She just standing in front of his car. Like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? What you doing, man? You all right? I was just like, bro, you all right? Woo. He's 7 footing me. So he only see everything at a 7 foot plateau. I'm only 6. I'm like, he ain't looking down at me. He ain't doing nothing. He just 7 footing me. And he just doing that stuff. And I'm just like, man, what's going on? He wouldn't say shit to me. Everybody's walking out the tunnel. Everybody walking out the tunnel. She just looking. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Sees Donahue. Right.
And remember, this is when it started, the beef. All right? He sees Donahue. Remember what I said, who Tim Donahue was. Let's see what happened.
At this motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because I was out there talking to Brev. I think we were playing Memphis.
Was it Memphis?
Yep, because I was standing out there on the loading dock. I was by the car, and then when I seen him come, I started shooting the shit with him. Like, hey, how's the wife? This and that, how we always do, right? So then it was Donahue, Steve Javy, and I forgot the third referee. I think it might have been Scott something. I can't remember his last
Was it
name,
Foster?
but
Might have been
could have
Foster.
been. So all three of them walked by, right?
Now, I did say Scott Foster at the beginning, right? Scott Foster and Tim just so happened possibly been a part of that game where the beef started.
So I blurted out, yeah, I'm gonna get my motherfucking money back from that bullshit tech too. And then, he stopped and turned back, was like, what? I said, yeah, bitch, you heard me. I'm gonna get my motherfucking money back. So Brev, like, he trying to tell me like to chill. I'm like, nah. I know what the fuck they out there doing. I said, his ass is fucking cheating. That's what the fuck he doing. And then he started to walk towards me. And so I met that motherfucker halfway. So we going in there and we yelling back and forth, fuck you and all this other shit. And I told him, I said, first of all, with me being who I am, if that man right there would have felt as though I was throwing the ball at him, you don't think he would have called the tech on me with the relationship that we got? And
you're talking about Jabby.
Yeah.
You and Jabby had a
man, fuck Steve Jabby. And so I'm like,
He's letting it be known. He don't mess with none of them. That's how he was when he played, especially reacting after certain fouls. You did. Just watch some highlights from him, and actually watch some full games of Rasheed Wallace. Don't just watch highlights. Watch full games. Well, watch highlights, but then go back and watch some full games. He was a beast.
you don't think he would have sat up here and called the tech on me? Why did you have to come 40 feet from the other side of the court to call the tech? I said, yeah, bitch, you heard me. I'm going to get my motherfucking money back too. So, they separated us, broke us up. Next morning, I get called into Witz's office and NBA security on the phone. So now I'm like, what the fuck y'all want? Well, we just want to know what happened last night. Bitch, y'all already know what happened last night because y'all suspended me 7 games. So what the fuck you calling me for? Y'all already know what happened.
7-game suspension. I ain't gonna lie. During that David Stern era, players was getting suspended for having a box of chocolates in their pocket. You did. Like, now, mind you, there definitely was more brawl fights and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was definitely more physical. But there was a lot of suspensions. Like game suspension, not money. Now with Adam Silver running the show, it's kind of like more money suspensions are really conversations, unless you do other stuff, knuckleheaded stuff that you might post online or whatever might have you. So that is how that go, man. Let's continue.
Why you gonna wait till you suspend me and fine me and then call me to find out what happened? No, fuck out of here, hung up. So for that whole time with them when I was going through that Donahue shit, I wasn't talking to NBA security. But I'm like, for what? Y'all motherfuckers already fined me. Anytime so made them motherfuckers come out. They came out to Portland. Yeah, can we talk to you after practice? All right, yeah. After practice, do the routine, whatever we had going on, no matter if it was like in the back with the hot tub or, getting a lift in after practice, whatever. All right, I did whatever I had to do, shower, and I'm the fuck out of there. I ain't talking to them motherfuckers. I'm like, there's no need. Y'all just want to put this shit down for y'all's sake. Because what are you going to talk to me for when you already fined me? You already set down the punishment. So they suspended me 7 games for that Donahue shit. It cost me 1.2 or 1.3 for them 7 games. Cause that was like, I think it was my first or second year into my big contract that I just signed with Portland, right?
That's crazy, y'all. So it probably was the referees was probably starting to notice certain players that they could, you know, get away with certain things with because of how passionate they was. Rasheed Wallace was just one of the few. But I feel like he was like shit, like one of the main target, you dig? Um that's interesting. Let's get to this next one. So this next one, once again, I haven't seen this. It's about how, NBA referees could ruin everything. Pretty much the worst calls. Let's check this out.
Kawhi with his first bucket. Oh, a T on Kawhi. It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, your eyes don't deceive you. What you just witnessed was 3 technical fouls handed out in the span of 5 seconds, with 2 of them going to a single player, resulting in an immediate ejection. How crazy is that? 3 technical fouls also equals 3 free throws, and if you were wondering if these extra freebies affected the end result, then here's the final score. Yeah. NBA referees are supposed to be impartial when they're on the court. They're supposed to officiate games fairly, cleanly, and with no bias whatsoever. But it just seems that as of late, they've become the ultimate cheat code. I mean, you can't defend against them, you can't outscore them. All you could really do is pray that they're on your side for the night. Otherwise, look, you could even get a technical these days for passing the ball to them. Sheesh. Now, ain't that the most egregious thing you've ever seen? This is getting out of hand, guys. The NBA referees could literally ruin everything. When it comes to how refs have been ruining games, I don't think anyone said it better than Fred VanVleet, so you guys gotta hear this.
Ben Taylor was terrible tonight. I thought that on most nights, a couple of the, out of the 3, there's 1 or 2 that just the game up, and it's been like that a couple games in a row. Denver was tough, obviously. You come out tonight, you're competing pretty hard. The third quarter, I get a bull tech, changes the whole dynamic of the game, changes the whole flow of the game.
Yep, Fred VanVleet has a point. Ben Taylor, he's it might be like 15 games or something like that, and he had got ejected for some weird stuff at a game. So I want y'all to let me know. Do y'all be feeling like it's personal with the refs, or is the refs already going in there knowing what they're gonna do? Because remember, because I do side gigs, referee gigs too. There is a conversation that refs have before the game, and it's pretty much saying expectations. Watch this, watch for this. This is what we're focusing on for this night, and da. That's how that goes. Y'all let me know, because I watched this too, and he's a mellow cat. Like, he doesn't really say much, you know what I'm saying? So, during these times, he was pissed.
I wasn't able to find out exactly what happened between VanVleet and Ben Taylor in this particular game, but apparently half of the technicals VanVleet has received for the season so far has come at the hands of Ben. I don't know about you, but there seems to be a bit of a bias there to me. Anyway, if you're wondering about what happened in Denver, let me show you, and trust me when I say that this one is pretty bad. So in the fourth quarter, with 30 seconds left to go in a 1-point game, in the clutch, Jamal Murray lasered a pass into Gordon, who then got fouled. The whistle was immediately blown here by the ref for a foul on the Raptors. Well, Scotty Barnes.
That looks like Scott Foster that called that foul. Was that Scott Foster?
Jamal
You really
Murray
can't
lasered
see.
a pass into Gordon, who then got fouled. The whistle was immediately blown here by the ref for a foul.
That's Scotty. That's Scotty Foster. That's that boy Scotty. Scotty, you okay? You okay? You okay, Scotty?
On the Raptors. Well, Scotty Barnes didn't think that was a foul, so in his frustration, he did this to protest.
And it's going to be on Jakob.
Here's the crazy part.
If you're taking a trip with your friends, why pay for 4 hotel rooms
No.
to stay apart from your friends?
Scotty Barnes is another mellow cat. He's passionate, but not like that, man.
Get
like,
an Airbnb
very
and stay together for
cool.
less.
Cool, calm, and collected. You hear me?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Saw X.
Crazy.
So at this point of the game, Scotty had 0 technical fouls. 0, okay? But Scott Foster didn't care.
Oh. Didn't I just say that? I said Scott Foster, yo. Come on, man. Make it make sense. Because it ain't.
He had all the power in the world at that time and threw Barnes out of the game with just 1 technical.
Scotty Barnes is the face of the franchise, by the way. Some could argue that, but there's no argument if you know basketball.
How crazy is that? Sheesh, guys. Barnes is the reigning rookie of the year, and he literally just got tossed out of the game for this. Also, what ended up being just 2 free throws turned into 3, and just like that, it went from a 1-possession game to a 2-possession game, and the Raptors ended up losing. But if you thought that was crazy, wait until you see this next one, which is about the Memphis Grizzlies superstar. As you can see, Ja Morant here is just casually talking to a fan sitting courtside. It was an away game, but apparently she's a huge Morant fan and was even wearing a sweatshirt. But then, for some odd reason, this ref decided to go crazy and he gave Morant a technical.
Sensitive, boy. Ja better expect that a lot more, man, because, you know, they gonna hate on him like an AI, you dig? Man.
That was his second technical of the game, which means Morant was consequently thrown out of the game at the end of the first half. That was soft, that was harsh, and that ruined the game, especially for that fan who shelled out thousands of dollars for those courtside tickets.
See, but that's what I be saying. The referees be making it about them. You know, so now that he went viral for that moment, now he's going viral again because, you know, he's on our channel, he's on that channel. Like, come on, man. Look, that's a fan right there. It doesn't have referee number 146 on it. It has Morant, man. You ruining people's dreams. That could have been their only opportunity to see Morant.
This was bad for the game. It's bad for the fans, and whichever way you want to look at it, it's just flat out bad. You know what's awesome about this incident, though? Ja actually got his dad to run over with his phone for a...
See, Ja Morant always be doing some real stuff, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? He gets a bad rap. He does make a few poor choices, but shoot, so do I. And so did I at that age. You feel me? We all make poor choices, bro. Some more critical than others, right? But he has a good heart, man, especially when you do stuff like that. Because he remembered that fan. The dad, bro, come on, man. Oh, shoot, by the way, my battery saver just went on my computer, so we got to wrap this up.
FaceTime session with the fan where Ja personally let her know that it wasn't her fault that he was kicked out. What a nice gesture. Anyway, that ref was on a power trip, but so is this next one. You see, in a matchup between the OKC Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks, SGA easily got through the Mavericks defense for an easy bucket. Well, at this point in time, Luka was frustrated, clapped loudly, and said, "Let's go, man, let's go," to his own teammate, Dwight Powell, but then he was called for a technical.
Yeah, Luca be getting some weird technicals. He's passionate, but like he be getting some weird like, oh, they really don't like him.
Oh my goodness, guys. What has the NBA come to? How the heck can this happen in the best basketball league in the entire world? I mean, motivating your teammates can now turn into a technical foul? Well, the Mavericks luckily won that game, but imagine they lost by 1 point. Things really would have gotten out of hand if that happened. And speaking of hand, check out how this hand gesture here ruined the game. As Scotty Barnes drives to the basket, Tatum fouls him, which then turns into a 3-point play. It was close to the end of the third quarter, with one full quarter left to play in the game. Well, Tatum obviously didn't like that call and just waved his hands in displeasure. It doesn't look like there was any hatred or anything malicious about that at all, but believe it or not, that was called for a technical. And it must have been his second tech because just like that, the one superstar in the game was tossed out. My goodness, guys. The arena was filled with thousands of people who paid good money to come see a star like Jason Tatum play, only for the refs to get him tossed out for this. Anyway, not too long after that, in a different game, Tatum again gets hit for a technical for guess what? Clapping his hands. This dude literally just clapped his hands out of frustration because, according to his own words, "I think I just missed a layup and I just committed a foul." Anybody in the arena, anybody watching the game could have seen that I was frustrated with myself. I didn't say anything, I didn't look at it. See what I mean when I say that the referees could literally ruin everything based on how they feel for that day?
Man, look, we don't even need to see no more. I need to know. Drop down in the comments. Do y'all think the referees be dictating the sports at this point? Because we gonna go into other sports as well because I want to dig deep. Pause. Gosh. Wow. Yeah, man. So don't forget to subscribe, like, drop some comments. We need them crowns in the chat. And just think, when you watch the game, is this changing your whole mind frame about watching certain games or sports and stuff like that? Because I don't really watch NBA too much. I'm a basketball player for sure. I'm a basketball player, but I don't really watch the game until the playoffs. You dig? Because I'm on my own grind. I'm trying to stay in shape because I'm playing during the year too. So NFL is totally different. It's about the Steelers, as y'all see. That's my boy Pitty right there. That's Gray right there. You dig? And that's that boy you know what I'm saying? We keep it PG a little bit. But yeah, man. Appreciate everybody. It's your boy J Money, Royal Family, Edutainment. Until next time. Peace.